Hello class, this is a continuation on our hard Pythagoras theorem problems. So let's go straight into our fourth problem here. So as we've seen in this one, the first step for all of these, it's easy just to think of these as merely substituting the correct numbers into the correct position. So this one on its own is 2a, so let's just put that down there, so 2a. And for the other two, we have a here and 9. We're going to start evaluating these. A to the power of 2 is just a squared. 9 squared is 81. And 2a to the power of 2, remember this becomes a squared, but that 2 is also squared, so this gives us 4a squared. Now in the previous sets, we saw that we had to add these on the same, because they're on the same side of the equation, or the same size of the equal, 1y squared and 4y squared became 5y squared. Now this step here is rather similar, but instead I want the a squared to be on the same side. So I need to actually move this to this side. We do that by subtracting a squared, like so. A squared minus a squared, that's gone, leaving us with 81. And this is now 4a squared minus 1a squared. This gives us 3a squared. And from here, we can evaluate the remaining bits of this problem. So we can now divide by that 3. So 81 divided by 3, giving us 27, equals a squared. And we've seen this many times before. We can get a by itself by taking the square root. Square root of 27 gives us 5.196, which you can round to, well, actually 1 or 2 decimal places gives us 5.2. And there we have it. So as you can see in this one, it's actually requiring this one extra step of moving the letters squared onto the same side. So you can pause and try the next two yourselves, and I'll get these actually set up here. So the first step is merely putting the correct values into the correct positions. So here we go. In this one, the hypotenuse here is the expression 3b. So 3b. And the other two really don't matter the order. So I'm going to put 2b here and 5 here. So 2b, 5. The 5 to the power of 2 is the easiest one. That's 25. 5 times 5. This, and I'll go real slow with these ones. B squared, well, that becomes b squared. But don't forget that the 3 also becomes squared. So it's 9b squared. Likewise with this one, b squared becomes b squared. But the 2 also is squared. So this gives us 4b squared. The same step now occurs as we did here. We want all the letters to be on the same side. So in this case, I want 25 to be by itself. So I need to get rid of this 4b squared. We do that by subtracting 4b squared, like so. This cancels out the 4b squared on the left-hand side, leaving us with 25 on its own. 9b squared minus 4b squared gives us 5b squared. And from here, it's just an equation that we solve. We divide both sides by 5. That cancels out the 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5b squared. We can solve for b by taking the square root of 5. Square root of 5 is 2.236, which I'm going to round as 2.24. And there we have it. Okay, let's do the last example here. 3c is our hypotenuse, so that goes here. And the other two is merely just c goes by itself here. So c, and 4 goes on the same side. The left side becomes c squared plus 16. This, I hope we're familiar now. This becomes c squared, but 3 squared is 9. The c squared moves to the other side, so writing that out, minus c squared minus c squared. This cancels out, leaving out 16. 9c squared minus c squared, or 1c squared, is 8c squared. Dividing both sides by 8. 16 divided by 8 is 2. This cancels out the 8, leaving us with c squared. And from here, we take the square root of 2. Square root of 2 is 1.414, which I'm going to write as just simply 1.41. And there we have it. So I hope that's giving you another degree of insight into these slightly harder Pythagoras theorem problems. And hope to see you in the next video. Best of luck.